My name is Frederick Octavius Prince. I'm the owner and CEO of Hangar 420. And Hangar 420 was started in response to my father, who was afflicted with Parkinson's disease. 2 years before his death, I started giving him something called Charlotte's Web, which was made out in Colorado, specifically for a little girl named Charlotte, who had problems with seizures. And so by giving her the CBD, that greatly helped her seizures and whatnot. But for my father, I started giving it to him, and I didn't notice too much of a difference until I started adding THC, small amounts of THC into the product. And so once I did that, it literally, my father went from doing all of this at dinner. Everybody used to have to move his forks and his knives and wine glasses away from him because he'd be flailing from his Parkinson's. I started giving him the Charlotte's Web with my addition of the THC, and it was night and day. He could hold his fork again, he could speak well again, he could hold his wine glass, which was the most important thing for him. He wasn't using the sippy cup anymore. And it made everybody's lives just so much easier. He was so much easier to deal with, and his quality of life in the last 2 years just were so much better. Because my dad definitely didn't want to get high. You know what I mean? He didn't want that feeling. Most people don't know, my dad was the staunchest of anti-cannabis people. So I actually had to start giving this to him unknown to him. So he thought he was getting this mint flavored, liquid at the beginning of his day, when in fact actually it was Charlotte's Web with the THC in it. And it made him smile. It made him be able to talk, which is what he really hated losing the most with Parkinson's. I mean, yes, his motor skills were difficult for him, not being able to hold his wine glass and his fork and stuff like that, but he was unable to communicate. And by me giving him that and allowing him to be able to get his thoughts out again, really made not just his world, my world, my sister's family, my mother's world, everybody in business with him. Like, it was just, what are you giving him? All the places where our friends gather were constantly asking me what I was giving my father. And they still to this day, like, where can I get this stuff? Where can I, my cousin has this ailment, or my father also has this problem. Like, where can I find it? And he did a lot of work with, the Michael J. Fox Foundation, Senator Pell when he was still alive. Also, he was heavy into the Parkinson research. He lobbied Congress a few times. Michael J. Fox is still alive. I can't wait for him to try these new products that we're putting out. And I'm sure he'd be happy to try it, because he knew my father and he knew how much work, how much it really meant to him. L-Dopa only can go so far. L-Dopa is the pill that Parkinson's people take. I do a little bit of lobbying in Washington, D.C. for cannabis, and we had a party for the lobbying group that I'm with, which is the largest lobbying group in Washington and in the country as a whole. And we were there with multiple senators and the heads of these multi-state operators, billion-dollar companies, all in our living room. And I looked at my mom and said, when I was getting in trouble for weed at 16, did you ever think you'd be in the same room with senators and governors talking about how we can make this legal? Gotcha. I told you. I've been waiting for 25 goddamn years to tell you that I was right. So I got a good laugh out of her for that. But we have a fantastic medical community behind us, and they're as excited as we are. We just realized that we needed the THC to complete sort of the molecular structure of the product. But we noticed that I want to say, if you look at it at a molecular level and you sort of connect it with the THC, it's sort of an open end with the CBD. And when you have the THC, it sort of connects together, and that just made the world of difference. That's really what caused me to say, I want to do this for other people. I want other people to enjoy, the benefits of THC and CBD and CBG. And now that we can break these components down This is the basis of Tetra. So in the beginning, you could really only separate the cannabinoids from like THC, maybe THCA, and CBD, CBDA, CBDN, CBDG. Now we can really, take apart the cannabinoids from the plant. And by doing that, it allows the doctors, which we have on our board now, to be able to make specific, so they can dial it in for specific ailments. Since we're starting with pain, the doctors have given us specific formulas for both the different types of THC that they want in there and the different types of CBD that they want in there, which has been a total game changer. And so that is the genesis of the Tetra project.
And I just wish I had more time with him in that product. I wish he was still alive today to see how far we've come and how his ailment and his detriment has become a beacon of hope for other people in that situation. It's not just Parkinson's, it's MS, it's IBS, it's Crohn's disease, it's literally almost everything you can think of. There's a use for THC somewhere, and we intend to find that.